The human captain acquired 2 slaves, yet he granted them freedom and a fresh start. Captain Elias Thorne gazed at the holographic projection flickering before him, the pale blue light casting shadows across his weathered features. The data painted a grim picture. Zarathia had just concluded its notorious slave auction, a ruthless tradition, supplying exotic labor to wealthy interstellar magnates. Elias had never been drawn to politics or wealth. He cared for fairness, for justice. And yet here he was witnessing the bids climb for 2 specific slaves, a young warrior with scales like molten silver and eyes as sharp as obsidian, and a scholar whose brilliance radiated even through the holorecord. The auction hall was enormous, crowded with species from every corner of the quadrant. Elias had come merely to observe, though curiosity and a quiet sense of duty pushed him closer. The warrior, named Quran, stood tall, proud despite the chains biting into his wrists. Lysera, the scholar, clutched a small tome to her chest, her violet eyes tired yet unwavering. They were remarkable, too remarkable to be sold into servitude. As the bidding started, Elias's pulse surged. Each credit added felt like another nail in their metaphorical coffin. But he had prepared a contingency fund, built over years of transport missions and trade ventures, allowed him to outbid even the richest oligarchs. With decisive motion, he entered the contest. The auctioneer's voice boomed. Sold to the highest bidder, Captain Elias Thorne. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Faces of disbelief glimmered across alien spectators. Quran and Lysera blinked, stunned. Elias stepped forward, unclipping their restraints. With steady, gentle hands. "You're free," he said, voice calm yet kind. "And I'm taking you home." The journey aboard the Starfire was quiet at first. Quran's jaw clenched, muscles coiled like springs, ready to strike. Lysera examined the vessel, curiosity tempered by caution. Elias offered no forced conversation. He gave them space. By the second day, over shared meals of synthesized protein and spice, trust began to take root. Why would a human captain buy slaves just to release them? Lysera asked softly, breaking the silence while Quran cleaned the weapons he had been allowed to keep. "Some debts aren't owed in credits," Elias replied. "Some debts are owed in decency," Quran snorted. "Decency is a luxury in this quadrant. Few can afford it." "Perhaps," Elias said. "But I can." Days turned into weeks as the Starfire glided through hyperspace. They learned each other's rhythms. Quran shared combat training, tactical drills. Lysera offered knowledge of alien cultures, mathematics, and ancient star charts. Elias felt a bond emerging, not of ownership, but of camaraderie. Quran's fierce loyalty and Lysera's quiet wisdom reminded him why he had become a captain, to navigate the galaxy's chaos, while holding on to something human, something moral. One morning, as the Starfire approached a lush, uninhabited planet, Quran and Lysera watched the world spin in the viewport. Forests stretched endlessly, rivers gleamed like liquid sapphires. Elias had chosen it, deliberately, a blank slate, untouched by tyranny or greed. "This will be your home," Elias said. "You owe me nothing. No service, no gratitude. Just live freely." Lysera's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "And you'll leave us here alone?" Elias smiled faintly. "For now I have duties elsewhere. But I will return, and if you need anything, I will answer the call." Quran's hand lingered over the railing. "You trust us with this, our freedom?" "I trust you," Elias said simply. "Freedom isn't given. It's chosen. And you've both shown you're ready." The landing was gentle. The planet's atmosphere was warm, fragrant with alien flora. Elias led them across soft grass to a clearing. He had prepared with shelters, supplies, and tools. For the first time in years, the two former slaves felt not chains or oppression, but the lightness of possibility. As he prepared to depart, Charon placed a firm hand on Elias's shoulder. "We owe you our lives," he said, voice thick with respect. "No," Elias corrected. "You owe yourselves. I only opened the door. You walked through it." Lysera touched a small amulet she had kept hidden, a gift from Elias. "We'll build something here," she whispered. "A home, a future." Elias nodded, feeling the weight of his journey finally lift. One last glance at the two who had become more than companions, friends. He climbed aboard the Starfire and rose into the stars, leaving behind a new world and the promise of freedom. Charon and Lysera watched until the ship was a mere speck in the sky, then turned toward the vast, vibrant wilderness before them. They were free. They were safe. They had a home of their own. In that moment, Elias knew that the greatest victories were not in battles fought or treasures claimed, but in lives transformed, chains shattered, and hope restored. The galaxy was immense, often cruel, but a single act of humanity could ripple farther than any warship ever could.